Joining me is Nationals frontbencher Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister. Barnaby Joyce, really seriously, you know, you can see already where this voice is going, can't you? I mean, people are going to be too terrified to say boo to it.
And we've got to, you don't feel guilty, listeners, to say no. Honest to God, down here, it's hard. There's only really a few of us, a hand of us, who are actually actively writing op-eds, putting things on social media, giving speeches in Parliament against this. But it's going to be the biggest change in your life. This is bigger, honestly, than the referendum about whether we become a republic. This is more important. This affects your life, and don't be sucker punched into giving up on it. I was looking at some of this stuff. Here you go, reading all up on it. Why? Even when the Labor Party Attorney General tried to get this part into it, he said, he was saying that would have the line amended. The Parliament shall have subject to this Constitution means, listeners, that the High Court has primacy. High Court has primacy, not the Parliament. Have power to make laws with respect to the composition, functions, powers and procedures of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders and the legal effects of its representation. So he's trying to say the Parliament has primacy as to the legal effects of the representation. Listen to me. This is from the Labor Party, not from me, not from the Nationals. They knocked it out. Why are they so concerned about the legal effect of its representations? Because this changes how our nation works. The executive, listeners, is the High Court. It is the Governor of the Reserve Bank, amongst many. It is the Cabinet, which you actually all go to an election and vote for. And the Cabinet, listeners, selects High Court judges, which interprets the powers of the Constitution, which is how the powers of the voice will be determined. So they're determining their own powers. Now, I can't see how Australia is sleepwalking into this. We have one page of this, that page that could change how this nation works. And it is not good. But as I said before in another program, you got to get fired up. Because if you don't get fired up, this rubbish will go through. And we will have differentiated Australia on the premise of your DNA, on your race. And even if I go to the left side, that actually disabuses Article 1 of the Human Rights Convention, the Declaration of Human Rights, which says all beings are born free and of equal dignity and rights. After this goes through, you're not born of equal rights. You're born of different rights. And so, Andrew, how do we get ourselves into this position? It's incredibly dangerous.
Astonishing, Barnaby. When you were young, you probably remember we were fighting apartheid in South Africa, right?
Yes.
The left was fighting apartheid in South Africa in particular. Yeah, now the left is imposing apartheid in Australia. I find it just absolutely astonishing. I just want to underline what you just said there too, that document you showed. That was the Attorney General admitting that there was a problem. Parliament had to control the legal ramifications of what it was doing. He went to the advisors, the Aboriginal advisors, to the government saying, please change this wording. They said no. He said, OK. They gave in. That little proviso, giving Parliament primacy over interpreting the law, how it's going to run, does not apply. The government knows it's a problem and it's gone ahead anyway. It's disgusting. Barnaby, to another problem.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's just, remember, listeners and Andrew, that change to have the Parliament to able to deal with the legal effects of its representations of the voice, that's not come from Barnaby, crazy redneck hillbilly from Danglema. That's come from the Labor Party, Correct. Attorney General. And that's why you do not see the Solicitor Generals, who, listeners, is the independent legal advice of the government. They haven't tabled his advice. But the Attorney General seen it and said, oh my gosh, We better put some caveats on this. They put them in. They've been taken out. They've been bullied out of them. Are you actually going to do this to yourself and to your children? Are you going to vote for this? Please, God. And you've got to get fired up. Just don't think that there's a few politicians in Canberra can change it. Your responsibility, your nation. You get fired up. You get organised.
The only way to save us. It's only up to the public now to save us. I mean, it's incredible. And, you know, shame on all the Labor Party members who are going on the vibe of the thing, knowing that in practice it'll be really dangerous. Shame on them.
Well, I'll give you an example of that. Just before you go, on the Waitangi issue, what's happened with the Voice of Parliament in New Zealand, have a look what's happened where they started and where it is now. Where it is now. It's become a quasi-judicial body within New Zealand. Do you want that in Australia? Please, God, please tell me you don't want that here.